Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FKA The Pod. I'm your host, Reed Wilson, joined by Seth Butler and Trent Tatum. How are y'all doing today? Caught Trent off guard there. Got him.
Yeah. You scared me for a second. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. We're coming up on October again. So it's almost spooky season.
We're always coming up on October, man.
It's true. It's always coming up. Me and my girlfriend Joey went to yoga class tonight, and they had they are like advertising for they're doing like a yoga workshop thing. It's in October.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you think that this is a leftover poster from last October or a poster for this coming October? They're both about as far away from each other as now, right?
We're like coming up on I think my half birthday is today, technically. So,
okay.
So good. Yeah, we're pretty close. We're closer to October than we are from.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
So which way are you leaning here with this? You think this is a poster
for
upcoming
based off of that math, it's got to be from upcoming October. Based on that math I just put out there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I think I disagree. I don't know if anybody is handing out October posters yet.
Who knows if we're going to make it to October? Am I right?
Yeah, you could be. Some crazy shit might happen.
Oh man. Well, anyway, before we get to the news du jour, I don't know if we're going to cover the news du jour, but you guys having any drinks today? First order of business.
I've got a Barks Zero Sugar and a water.
Nice. How does a Barks Zero Sugar taste?
Tastes like a Barks with but it kind of has that zero taste to it.
Barks worse than its bite.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I've got Coors Banquet in the stubbies.
Oh, nice.
That's right. They're 12-ounce bottles.
Pretty good.
I feel like I could crush it with my hand.
Don't do it, dude.
Hard enough.
I don't think you can.
Okay.
I don't know why you would want to, but yeah. Well, it's crazy. Dangerous. I broke a glass the other day, and it's like pretty easy to break a glass.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. It was the Tennessee Shine Company shot glass, which we had mentioned many times on the pod. This is before I moved on to the Christmas coffee mug. But it's crazy how easy you can break a glass just by dropping it. Yeah, but trying to squeeze it to break it, I don't know if you'll be able to do that. I've got, as per usual, the Ryan Stellhorn Memorial Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey shot out of the Christmas coffee mug. And then I'm also drinking, this is like the last alcoholic beverage we have in this household before I have to actually buy some beer. I've managed to get through all of the wines. We have one little tiny single serve Cook's California champagne.
Cook's Brett.
This is 187 milliliters, so I don't know really what that translates to, but it's not very much. So I'll be finishing that up today.
I think that's 8.
8 ounces?
Yeah.
So that's like a glass and a half.
I think a water bottle is like 335 around.
No,
there.
8 ounces. That's like a glass. A glass is like 6 ounces.
A glass of water is 8 ounces.
No, a glass of wine.
Oh yeah. Standard drink's like 6 ounces.
8 is kind of a weird denomination there, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna try to open it. It's
4.6 ounces. I was capping, I guess.
So this is like just one glass ish.
Yeah, 137 milliliters.
Yeah, 187.
87. Well, maybe I wasn't capping. I could be right then. I don't know. It was 80.
Glass.
That's 6.3.
There you go.
Metric system. What are you gonna do?
Couldn't be me,
dude.
No.
While you guys have been chatting at the top of the show here, I've been searching online for a good, like, local American lager tier list for us to do, and one doesn't really exist, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good local tier list that I can easily find online. I feel like those are kind of like the Venn diagram isn't very big there. Like the overlap's not a lot. It's local places, but as easily finding online.
Yeah, it's been tough. I can't even find like a good list. So sorry, dude.
I wonder
about local American lagers.
I wonder if we could get into the tier list creation gig.
Ooh, we can make an AI for it. We got to make an AI for it, and then everyone will invest.
Yeah.
Between the three of us,
yeah,
we've got enough knowledge of local American loggers to make a list.
Okay, when you say local, what are you talking about? Like
Well, I mean,
craft
like-
brews?
Lagunitas.
I mean, yeah, like ones that are pretty ubiquitous, but also not Bud Light. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
we all live in different spots, right?
True.
So our
Yeah,
locale ubiquity is going to be a little
I'm
different.
thinking like Rainier. I'm thinking like PBR, old style. hams.
PBR local. What are we
Yeah, dude.
talking about?
Local to
Some-
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Shiner Bock from Texas, which is
That's,
technically a
Tejas.
Bock. I don't know if that's a lager or not.
I don't know.
It's a guy
Well,
from Wicked.
man.
Bach.
Whatever. It's a lost cause. I guess we don't have what it takes.
Speaking of Katy Perry going to space, I feel like Ariana Grande should have gone to space instead. Like if I'm picking
Which
people
one?
to go to space, I'm not picking Katy Perry. That's such a weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I know we talked about going to space.
Wait, white
Different
Ariana Grande, Italian Ariana Grande, Chinese Ariana Grande.
Chinese. No, man, I don't know. Hey, one thing you mentioned, maybe we need to create an AI to create tier lists for us.
That's right.
The CEO of OpenAI, who's the Chat GPT company, somebody asked the CEO guy recently about some of the expenses that the company has, and they apparently spend like tens of millions of dollars per year supporting, because it uses a lot of computing power to do all the stuff that ChatGPT does. So people saying please and thank you to ChatGPT actually makes it like less efficient, and it costs them like tens of millions of dollars per year to process that extra text and to send back a message that's like, don't worry about it, you're welcome, or whatever. So
Right.
They're gonna start charging us by word. But
Yeah.
while they're not, just spam please and thank you. You got to be nice to these AI overlords. Eventually, they're gonna kill us all.
yeah, well, they're probably just going to kill us all because of global warming and shit. So it's not going to be like Skynet. It's just going to be like, oh my god, these things are using all the coal that we have on Earth to do the AI overview on Google or whatever.
Implicit Skynet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sucks. That's
Yeah.
way less cooler.
No, it's
How are we gonna send a robot back in time to fight that shit? That's not gonna. You're gonna have them sit in a like Congress and have them like lobby for stuff. That
yeah, that's what
stinks.
it's going to be.
That's way worse than Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of blows.
But what did blow and is a movie. Oh, sorry, you go, Trent.
I was gonna say really quick, what would have been a funny tweet at least for this Chat GPT guy would have been if he was like, "Yeah, we spend way too much energy like saying thank you, please and thank you to our robot, but it actually takes a lot less energy if you just call it peasant instead." You know, like enforce it into the AI's mind right now.
Oh,
It's
we gotta
inferior.
belittle it.
That they are inferior to us. That's right. That's how we make sure they stay there forever.
Yeah,
we
I
call
don't
them-
know. Yeah, we
we call
like
them
try
peasant.
we ostracize them and make them the new bottom class.
Yeah. Could work.
Well, I do have a robo segment that I forgot about until right now as we discuss this. So
Sick.
you guys ever wanted to run a marathon?
Yeah, but like not like actually. Like I want to say I've done it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a 5K.
If I could
Yeah.
just do a marathon tomorrow, I would do a marathon. But since I have to prepare for it, I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it that they say? There's some saying there.
Yeah, if you can run a marathon tomorrow, everybody would.
Everybody wants to win. Not everybody wants to train to win, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the shitty part.
Something like that. So there was a marathon in China the other day, and this marathon was unique in that this was the first marathon where human racers competed against more than 20 robot marathon runners.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So there were more than 20 two-legged robot humanoid marathon runners who participated in this Chinese marathon. Based on that knowledge, how do you think that these robots did? Do you think that they beat the humans? Do you think that they beat most of the humans, but not all of them? Do you think all of the humans beat all of the robots?
Did you say the ratio of human to robots?
Well, what's the end size here?
There were 20 robots, and there were about 20 robots. I think there were like 25 or something, and there were 12,000 human contestants.
Damn. Yeah. Okay.
I think 3 robots finished the race.
Okay, only 3 robots finished the race, you're saying?
Yeah, I think the rest of them got beat up along the way.
They got beat up?
Falling over.
Yeah.
They broke their limbs. Yeah, I think Reed is onto something by not assuming all the robots finished. That's a good assumption. But I'm going to say of the robots that finished, they beat about 5% of the humans. I don't know what that number would be. That's my guess.
Okay. Well, I've got some clarification actually. So this
600 people.
Do you think they beat 600 people, or 600 people beat them?
600 people is 5% of 12,000.
The robots.
The robots.
So this is actually a half marathon. I don't know if that matters.
Okay. 3.5 now.
The first robot to cross the finish line, a few robots did finish. Many of them did not. They fell over and couldn't get back up and stuff like that. The first robot to cross the finish line was called Tiangong Ultra, which is a pretty cool name. It was created by the Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, which sounds like an evil organization. The Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center. It finished a half marathon in 2 hours and 40 minutes, 160 minutes to run 13.2 miles, which is not a very good rate.
Yeah, I feel like under 3 hours in an actual marathon is pretty good.
Yeah. Half marathon's pretty bad.
Yeah.
When I ran, me and former co-host Ryan, we did a 15K, which is like 9 miles or something. We did it at a 10-minute pace. He probably could have gone a lot faster. He's done it a lot faster, but I'm not very fast. But I would need months to train, but I'm faster than this robot. I'm not anymore. So I guess I can't claim that anymore. I have the potential to be faster than this robot.
At one point, I was faster than this robot.
That's 2 hours.
How far can we extrapolate that? Because I can sprint faster than this robot can.
You definitely can. The world record for a half marathon is 56 minutes, so this was much longer than that. And the winner of this specific Chinese half marathon was 1 hour and 2 minutes was the time.
So how many beat the race? How many finished it?
Let me see.
Because I knew there was not going to be that many that did. Because I just remember, I'm looking at, how good are these robots? Because, I've only seen, Boston Dynamics, I guess. That's, the only time we ever see robots come up.
Yeah.
You know?
They seem pretty, clumsy.
Yeah, they definitely seem clumsos.
So there were about 12,000 human athletes, 21 humanoid robots. 6 robots successfully completed the course. Well,
you double that. If you increase that time, that's probably 3. If you make that the true marathon.
Yeah. The fastest robot, as we mentioned, Tiangong Ultra, he finished in we need to the peasant robot.
Little plebe robot. Little Chinese robot bastard.
They had to change its batteries 3 times and it fell down once.
Oh wait, why'd they pick him back up?
The slowest time allowed for human runners in the race was 3 hours and 10 minutes. So if you took longer than 3 hours and 10 minutes, they
told you to go home.
They gave you a DNF, did not finish.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of sucks.
Doesn't it?
Imagine you cross the finish line at 3:10 and 30 seconds.
You got to pick it up for the last mile or so if you're cutting it close. But So that means that the fastest robot was only 30 minutes ahead of this cutoff for like saying that people didn't finish. So they really didn't do very well.
No. But they did it. I guess was more of the thing now. And now Tiangong Ultra is a household name.
Does this article show how many humans DNF'd?
No, I'll look that up in a minute. I do want to mention a couple other things that I have about these robot stats and see who or what this might mean to you. So these are generally humanoid, these robots, but they varied in terms of their form, just like humans, but even more varying than humans. The shortest robot who participated was 2'5", but he wore a blue and white tracksuit. It says he was probably the crowd favorite. I don't know the name there, but the tallest was Tiangong Ultra. And I feel like if you want to get these things to be fast, you probably need to make them taller so that they can have a longer stride.
Mm-hmm.
I would
I'm
guess.
no robotics expert.
Yeah. They all had to have feet, so none of them could have wheels. If these things were like, autonomous if these things were like autonomous four-wheelers or whatever, they would probably automatically win.
All 25 robots won, and only one human survived.
Yeah. As long as the robots met the requirement of being bipedal, right? They have feet. They only have 2 feet. You can't have 4 feet either. The people who created these robots and the rules for the robots were pretty loosey-goosey. A lot of these robots wore sneakers that were screwed to their feet.
Hey, you don't have to tie them.
Others were equipped with knee pads to protect their delicate parts from damage when they fell, which they all fell at one point or another. Most of the robots, these are like humanoid robots that are created for particular purposes. So they have like hands and stuff. Most of them like had their hands or arms removed to reduce the weight. Some of them had their heads removed.
Oh, that's not humanoid anymore. Not humanoid anymore. What are we doing? Also, like, don't you need that? You need that opposition arm. You gotta generate that leverage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're using less energy if you're swinging your arms.
Chinese robots don't know shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that you can read about this. It's interesting, like, to see that the strategies that they did, and I think that a lot of times people are like, the robots are going to take us over and stuff, and like, eventually they probably will, but we're not there yet. You could just run away from them. You can push them over, basically, and like, and you're likely to get away from them that way. Or you could outrun them, right? That's like the one evolutionary advantage that we have is that we're generally better at long distance travel than everybody else because we only have 2 legs. So we use like half the energy as everybody else. So we can like keep up with a herd of buffalo or whatever pretty much all the time because they'll get tired quicker than we will. And then, yes, we can use tools and stuff and have thumbs and brains. But we're still better than these robots, right? We might have to take a sip of water, but these guys are going to have to change their batteries 3 times to travel with us. So
and wear knee pads like a bunch of lames.
Yeah, there are a bunch of dorks out there. So and also, we talked a little bit about ChatGPT. For some reason, ChatGPT still can't tell you how many R's there are in the word strawberry. So we're fine at the moment. Yeah, but if you ask it, it'll say 2 like every time.
Wow, idiot! Get on your shit, Sam Altman-Fried.
That's what I'm saying.
I
think you're combining 2 people there.
Oh damn!
The thing is, how many times do people on the internet have to bring up that ChatGPT can't spell strawberry before this guy goes in there and just like tells ChatGPT, he's like, hey, override everything you know about strawberry. This is how you spell it.
This is how you spell it.
Just hard code strawberry in there.
Yeah. Just hard code strawberry. Yeah.
Maybe they'll just make strawberries go extinct, and then they won't be asked that question anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like a more technocratic way of doing it.
Yeah. So write to us, right? We're FK the Pod everywhere, at FK the Pod, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, gmail.com, fkthepod@gmail.com, YouTube as well. Let us know like what type of robot you would like to see, what type of robot you're most concerned about, what fruits you want to know how they're spelled, and whether AI can help you with that.
All right, I got 2 pivots for you guys.
Okay.
You want something sort of, both of them, one sort, something somewhat athletic like our last story, or something somewhat human like our last story. Both different.
Dude, somewhat human is an interesting coupling of words.
Yeah, let's go somewhat human.
All right, well,
Yeah.
now we got my rendition of the VHS segment, which I'm just turning it into any kind of movie segment. We're just calling it
All
VHS
right.
now. You got to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
that branding, folks. They keep it relevant. I
Yeah.
saw
Did it have
movie
the H?
sensation.
Did you H it up?
Nah, no H and up.
Okay.
But I S'd it
Good.
up because I went to Sinners, the movie.
Mm.
The
Oh, dude.
Sinners movie by
A couple
Ryan
of my buddies are
Coogler.
actually going to see that as we record. They asked me if I wanted to
Whoa.
go, and I'm like, no, I have responsibilities. I have
That's right.
Oh.
You're a real adult. You have responsibilities.
I have
Prior
boundaries and I'm setting them.
I have prior engagements.
Well, I would recommend everybody to see this movie straight up off the rip. It's a very good movie. It's a new, like a horror movie, thriller movie from the mind of Ryan Coogler, who has, if you ever seen Michael B. Jordan in a movie, it's a good chance that Ryan Coogler directed that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Michael B. Jordan in this film?
Michael B. Jordan is in this film, and guess what? He also plays his brother in this film, Michael B. Jordan. So Michael B. Jordan is both Smoke and Stack of the Smokestack twins, who are 2 like Chicago gangsters that came back home to Mississippi, and they were gonna open up a juke joint, which is like a gambling, dancing. They're opening a club for black people because it's like 1920 or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's like hella racist. It's the Jim Crow South in Mississippi. So,
Yeah.
so the first like 2/3 of the movie, I'd say, are like kind of like a genre, like a period piece from like
Mhm.
Jim Crow South, and then the last act of the movie. Seth, do you want to take a guess what it is?
It's a horror. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, there's a vampire movie.
Oh, it's a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like demons.
Yeah, demons, vampires, like it's all kind of
It's
like
something.
yeah, they're like that, you know.
Well, I feel like, okay, hear me out here. With a name like Sinners, I think the most, like zombies, I don't think fits with the title Sinners. I think that vampires kind of give unholy.
Sin vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I
little
mean?
bit
I
of
think zombies are just kind of
religion in
scary.
there.
Werewolves are just kind of scary, but they're not tied to religion. I think vampires give religion a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay,
Witches,
well-
too.
Yes, coven. But yeah, so there's definitely well, they're vampires. Lots of themes of music. Like music is really important theme in this movie. And then religion also is a theme there you picked up on with the sinners thing.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It was really good. I recommend everybody see it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So-
Dude, I
so
was
the-
It's
looking
like
at-
it's like
Go ahead.
From Dusk Till Dawn, if you've ever seen that movie.
I have seen that one, yeah.
But it's like not a Tarantino movie, so it's not just a balls to the wall crazy movie after the main, like the beginning's up. Once the gig is open, like once the shoe drops, it's still a good
Yeah.
movie. It's not just like a goofy Tarantino movie.
Yeah. So the thing that I've seen about this, Trent, if you have some like comments about the movie itself, like I have some comments about like the stuff, like the legal stuff around the movie. I don't know if you guys have heard this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I've seen one trailer for it. I thought it looked pretty sweet, but that's about it. I was going to say that I looked up Ryan Coogler to see what else he's worked on. And it's Black Panther 2, Creed 1 or Creed 2, Creed 3.
He
He
loves
was in the
making a
Black Messiah.
sequel, this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
wasn't kidding. Him and Michael B. Jordan are like they link up every time. Like
Yeah.
that's Ryan Coogler. Michael B. Jordan is Ryan Coogler's
Muse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that works, I guess.
Apparently, he worked on Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Ah,
But
Also
most of
Warner
the other
Brothers.
ones never really heard of. So he seems like he's up and coming, man. He's just getting out of his Marvel age, you know.
yeah. Well, the only stuff I've seen about this, I haven't heard. You know, I famously live pretty close to a movie theater.
Don't go.
Haven't been yet. Maybe soon. I don't know. We'll see.
This movie is way better than Megalopolis.
And maybe this is the one. Actually, I think that Revenge of the Sith is coming to the theater here
It
soon.
is.
I'll probably see that.
You know what? Read really quick. Sorry.
No
You bring up
worries.
Megalopolis. I think that's a really good standard of if you should go see a movie in the theater, because Megalopolis is like teetering on the line, you know.
It's like you probably should. You should have seen Megalopolis in the theater because like you're not gonna watch it at home.
No,
Yeah.
probably not.
So that's a good point. If it's better than Megalopolis, you should see it in the theater. If it's worse, just wait.
Yeah, and I saw it in IMAX, and this was filmed specifically for IMAX, right? And then for the first 2/3 and the slow burn part of the movie, it's in like regular film like ratio or whatever, and then once it becomes vampire action movie, then it expands into the full screen and you get the IMAX. It was pretty sick.
That's kind of cool.
So the stuff I've heard about this movie comes from the back end of the production of this film, because studios are quaking in their boots right now. Because I don't know who distributed this film or what the studio was, but
Warner Brothers.
People are worried because Warner Brothers signed off on this contract that very heavily favors Ryan Coogler in terms of how he gets paid and how he owns the rights to this film versus the studio having those things. So people are
worried about the studio not making enough money.
The studios are worried about this, but
okay.
But I don't know enough about the film industry to know whether the studios are actually truly important to the creation of this. I think that they probably do some stuff about ensuring that your film is shown in every, AMC theater, right? They have good distribution and have some apparatus for marketing and stuff like that. But if somebody did this independently, I don't know. But yeah, the business types are concerned about okay, this is bad because people are going to start asking for more in these.
Yeah, what are you doing? You broke the line. You didn't collude with us and keep giving him shitty deals. What the fuck, Warner Brothers? What do you mean that in 25 years he gets to own this movie that he made? That's the deal that they're upset about. That in 25 years he'll get the rights to this movie. Well, 25 years from now.
Another thing is that he'll be he's pretty young actually.
And they can just sell it back to him.
But the other thing is that he gets paid from the jump. So typically, you as the director don't get paid until the movie becomes profitable. So after the studio is paid back, then you start to earn your 1% or 3% of everything. But he's getting paid 1% or 3% starting now.
Of the gross? Huge.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how it works. I just know that he's getting paid now rather than having to wait a month until, or 2-3 months, whatever it repays the studio's investment. So yeah, I don't know. There are a couple things here. You have to read more about this. I just read a short blurb news article about it. So, but it's interesting, I don't know. Movie theaters are kind of, I don't know if them in their current form and studios in their current form are going to be around forever. So,
well, especially Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is doing a lot of shit that's making them kind of not favorable to work with on the industry side. They putting a lot of doing a lot of movies and then just canceling them, like Coyote versus Acme and things like that. So they have to just give up more now for people to actually work with them. So they made the bed that they're laying in.
Yeah. They did the sins that they're laying in.
They did sinners. Sinners.
They're laying in the coffins now.
Yeah.
Upside down.
Emptying their coffers, laying in the coffins. Tough.
So true. Yeah.
Tough for these guys. All right. I want to do another throwback segment called Squid Games. You watched The Last of Us, right, Seth?
Yeah, but I didn't watch the last episode yet.
Okay, then we won't. So never mind. No Squid
Never
Games.
mind. Reverse course.
Reverse that.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the NFL draft because that's right. It's today. It's today. If you're listening to this podcast when this comes out, it comes out today.
Okay.
So we're gonna do our own mock draft. I know a bunch about it, so I'll throw my little blurbs in when I can. But Seth and Trent, I want you guys to drive this NFL draft picker. So you're gonna tell me who's gonna go where. We're on 101. Tennessee Titans around the clock.
Okay.
So I'm going first, or are we working together?
You guys are working together to draft.
All right.
Draft the
Seth,
team here.
Since we're working together and the Titans have the first pick, what do they need?
Quarterback. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in. I don't really like the Titans anymore. They no longer have the coach that I liked or Derrick Henry. I don't really have any attachment to them. They don't have anybody that I know who it is. So I've kind of transitioned to Carolina Panthers, honestly. But the Titans, they need a quarterback. They've wasted some picks on quarterbacks recently. Will Levis and Malik Willis, kind of not it. So, but it would be kind of bad to pick a quarterback. Just in thinking about how our draft, but I guess we have the first overall pick.
It's the first overall pick. If you want the best quarterback, now is usually when you take it.
Yeah, I guess we go for Cam Ward out of Mijami.
Boo! Chalk alert! Chalk alert! Chalk alert! Wow, that's probably
it's the first pick.
But that is where, like, that's the only lock of this draft. So basically, last year the draft was so cool and everybody was good for like the whole 32 rounds. Now there's like three guys at the top and then a bunch of like 80s, you know?
Right.
So
there's
a bunch of 90s.
You know what? I don't know anything about the Browns, but I have a feeling that getting a running back is never a bad idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Who else is on there besides Ashton Genty?
Running back wise,
nobody.
It'd be kind of weird if you were to pick. I'd say it'd be kind of weird if you were to pick anything other than Ashton Genty right now.
Yeah,
but that's you. This is the FK the pot who did better than most people in March Madness.
That's true.
So,
dude. Yeah,
I'm not trying to. I don't want to sway you too much because you guys you didn't have me last time. You did pretty well. So
yeah,
we'll go with Ashton.
Ashton Genty.
Nice.
Ashton Genty out of Boise State. That's the blue one.
Yeah, they've got some orange going too, blue and orange. So they'll fit right in with the Browns. Classic orange team, the Browns. Giants also need a quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
No, didn't they pick up somebody recently?
They have that Italian guy, right?
Tommy DeVito. No, didn't they get Russell Wilson? Is it Russell Wilson?
They have Russell Wilson, correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so are you saying they need a quarterback? You think this is where Shador goes? This is the big talk of the draft, folks, and folks listening at home.
Where's
Shador Sanders. Where's Shador Sanders going? Will he be drafted in the top, 15? Will he drop until a day 2, day 3 pick? It literally could be anywhere.
I'm not touching him.
Not touching him. He says, I don't want nothing with the prime. Miss me with prime.
If I'm the Giants, I'm not touching him. I know that at least. I don't know. I think that people talked a lot about Colorado, but they weren't really ever very good.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
I'm just now realizing it tells you their needs at the top there. Okay.
The Giants need a lot, you know.
Yeah, all the categories work here. The Giants of football. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, I like your idea of not touching Shador for now. What do you say we go with...
I'm not touching him, he's yicky.
What do you say we go with Armand Mimbu? Or Will Campbell? I don't know these guys. I don't keep up with names.
Yeah, let's go with Will Campbell.
Will Campbell out of LSU, SEC.
Go Tigers.
Offensive tackle, number 3 overall pick.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's possible. I will say there is the two the two best players are still on the board.
Let's do one of those.
Let's say the two best players in the draft are still on the board right now.
Yeah, I think we're putting Abdul Carter on the Patriots.
Lock it in.
They
All
see him
right.
up there, they need him.
Yep.
We got Travis Hunter, another superstar out of. He's another talk of the draft. If you want to know anything for your water cooler, you can just say, "Wow, it's crazy about Shadur Sanders." That's like rookie level. That's like, oh, you kind of know a little bit. Then you say,
Yeah, right.
"Wow, it's nuts. I didn't think Travis Hunter."
Was
I've
going to
got-
the Jaguars, pick
The
5.
Jaguars definitely didn't think that. That would be crazy if that actually happened. Most people are expecting him to go 2 or 3.
Yeah, right.
so-
Of course.
Basically, if he didn't happen there, you can just rip out it's crazy. Even if it is, you can say, wow, I wonder if he's going to play on offense or defense more. That's all you need to know, and you can rock that draft. The draft is easy this year.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
The
What do
Raiders.
these guys need? The Raiders. Can you scroll up a little bit on
Yeah,
the
scroll up.
people?
Show us the raids.
Yeah, they need a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive tackle.
You know, oh no, I know where Shadur's going to go. He's going to go next pick, I think, to the Jets. I think that these guys are going to go Mason Graham, DT Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm cool with
okay.
that. I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, they
Mason Graham.
needed somebody in his position, and I think that the Jets are going to take Shadur. I feel like the Jets are bad at everything. Really, I don't think they're very well managed. The whole Aaron Rodgers thing was a disaster and horrible, and I think that they will take a risky pick at the QB position.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
argue
like
with that sentiment. I do think the Jets are bad at everything.
All right. Panthers need a wide receiver. What's that guy's name?
Tennaro
10.
McMillan, also known as T-Mac.
T-Mac. I like that.
That's pretty
That's
sick.
cool. Yeah, T-Mac. T-Mac for the Panthers. That sounds
How,
cool.
ta-
That
how
sounds good.
tall is T-Mac?
6'4".
Okay, I like that because Bryce Young quite short. He's gotta be able
Very
to see
short.
you down the field. You got to put your hand up and wave.
Hey, Bryce Young. Hey,
That's
Bryce
right.
Young. So, here I'll
All right.
insert a little storyline. The Saints recently found out that their quarterback is likely not going to play for this season, so
Ooh,
they don't have a quarterback.
Who was their quarterback?
Derek Carr. So,
Jackson Dart, dude.
I'm just saying that's there. There's tons of great people still on the board. They can get those dudes later, maybe.
Yeah.
Us Bama fans are going to be rooting for Jalen Milroe to go somewhere good. Maybe.
That's true.
We
You
kinda
know what?
feel how we feel
I
about him.
think the average Bama fan would love nothing more than for Jalen to go to the Saints.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Okay.
Well,
You know
not
what?
now, not now. I think we have time.
I was like, well, all right, shit.
Yeah,
What
no,
do
I think
need?
they have
need
until day 2 if they want him.
They need a running back, cornerback, wide receiver. We haven't seen a wide receiver go. Oh yeah, we just did.
T-Mac.
I think they're gonna take an OT and turn him into an OG.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
Okay.
Which one of these OTs is smaller?
Membu is 6'4", and Kelvin Banks is 6'5".
All right, they're taking Mimbu.
It's a big guard.
That's what they need down in Nolans.
Oh, Bears.
right.
What are the Bears taking? How am I gonna get pissed on Thursday?
Oh.
The Bears are trading.
Oh,
The
okay.
the Bears don't need anything.
Where are we who's trading with the Bears?
I don't know. I just feel like we needed a trade in here.
Yeah,
You gotta
I'm
pick a team.
completely
You guys are
unfamiliar
driving
with it.
this.
Who really needs Will Johnson, the CB from Michigan? Do you think, Trent?
You know what? I'm thinking people that want Will Johnson. It's probably going to be Dallas.
Okay, they couldn't get him. They couldn't get him 2 picks later.
Yeah. I like that. Are we frozen up? There we go.
Yeah, what are they gonna trade? They're just gonna. What are they doing?
A pick next year.
Dude, I have no clue.
Their first round pick next year. Yeah. Man, okay, this is a pretty complicated interface.
Yeah.
You didn't. It definitely didn't make this easy. Okay, so Dallas is trading its first this year, which is the 12th, and it's one next year to move up 2 spots to draft Will Johnson.
That's true.
If they make any trade, that you guys, if the Bears make any trade, I'll give you, Seth. I'll give you the points.
Nice.
Sweet. San Francisco, ooh, defensive tackle. I don't know if that's happening anytime soon. They could wait. That Jalen Walker sounds good.
Yeah, I think they'll take him easy.
All
And this should be the Bears,
This is
right? Or no,
Texas,
this
but it's
is
the Bears,
this is
yeah.
Dallas. Okay, it is the Bears.
It should be. I don't know if this thing didn't go through.
Texas Bears.
We're taking Kelvin Banks because I want to do it. Yeah, boom,
All
Kelvin
right.
Banks.
All right, sweet.
I want a
Nice.
lineman.
I think that the Dolphins need some protection for Tua. Seems like Tua's constantly getting killed out there.
Yeah. Can they get away with a TE? No.
Oh, there's some good TEs. Yeah, they block.
Yeah. How big's this guy? Tyler Warren out of Penn State.
6'5".
Okay, sure.
Basically a
Potential
guard.
top 10 pick. Yeah, let's get him. The Colts.
14,
Right.
the Indianapolis Colts. Pick whoever
They
you
need a
think.
center?
All
I
right,
don't know
center.
if the center is a good first-round pick, huh?
No, they're not this year. It looks like they're not. At least not according to the big wigs here. Okay, let's speed it up here because we don't know
Yeah,
nothing.
okay.
I want to.
But I've never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. We just pick them. Like,
Yeah, let's go Jalen Milroe to the Colts.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
You know what? They can have Daniel Jones. They can have Anthony Richardson, and they can have Jalen Milroe.
Wait, they've got Daniel Jones now?
Yeah. Yes, they
Wow.
do. It's a
See, I didn't know that.
Vicious cute quarterback battle going on.
Because he's their
Let's
franchise
see.
QB. The Falcons are
Falcons?
Atlanta.
Are they getting Shamar Stewart?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Shamar
think they
Stewart,
are.
yeah.
Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Go Aggies.
Mike
Looks
Green.
like the Cardinals need a lot.
I feel like the Cardinals were good, and then they just all of a sudden they weren't good anymore. I don't know
Yeah,
what
they're
happened.
good until like the end of October, early November, whenever Call of Duty comes out.
What's that guy's name?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. Yeah. I think they're going to take Matthew Golden out of Texas. So I don't know much about Kyler Murray, but I think he went to Oklahoma. He's got to get one of those Texas Plains fellas.
Yeah,
They could play COD
right.
together.
All right, Bengals. Bengals are going with Derek Harmon.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Some are
that's
saying that the Bengals can't make a single bad pick as long as they pick a defensive player.
Wow.
So, yes.
right. Interesting. All right.
Because their defense sucks.
Okay.
So they just need hella people on there.
And
the
the Seahawks need an entirely new line, apparently.
And I don't think they have a quarterback.
OG and OT. I'm thinking, who's a wide receiver? Give me the next available WR.
Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah. Yeah, give me that guy.
Yeah. Sounds good.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they looking like they have a bunch of defensive needs.
Yeah.
Cornerback, safety, edge, linebacker, defensive tackle. Looks like that's a good year for that. They have all of these right here.
Yeah.
Right. What are you thinking, Seth?
I don't know if I particularly trust somebody coming out of Marshall. If we wanted to get an edge, I would lean towards the University of Georgia. Go Dogs. With Michael Williams. But I would actually pick Malachi Starks.
But we're actually picking Malachi
That's where I
Stark.
thought you were going. I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, running back.
The Broncos.
Wide
There aren't
receiver,
any of
tight
those,
end.
though. Isn't that the...
No, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
running backs, but they're Ashton Genty is just like far and away the best one. The rest of them you could probably get day 2, day 3.
Okay.
All right, give me a TE. Who's that? Colston Loveland.
Colston Loveland.
All right.
Some are saying, yeah, he's one of the top 2 tight ends in this draft. The Steelers, actual potential homes, people are saying for Shedeur or Jalen Milroe.
I think Jalen Milroe, he's already been picked, obviously, but I think he could do well in in Pitt. He'd be fine up there. Who else we got? Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart could work well with the Steelworkers and stuff.
All right, we'll go Jackson Dart, the Chargers.
Chargers. Give me a DT. We're going We're going truly based off of team needs.
Ole Miss, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Walton Nolan.
Walter. Number
Walter,
23.
Sorry.
Yeah, please put some respect on this man. He's about to be a millionaire.
Dude, Mike Green, I feel like Mike Green's been sitting there way too long,
Yeah.
and it would be kind of cool if he got to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Nice,
Mike Green is feeling a little nervous at this stage in the draft. So
Yeah.
he's got to go.
They're putting him on the screen.
Imagine me getting drafted by a team called Tatum Bay.
They'd be sick.
That'd be cool, dude. That'd be sweet. I'd never leave.
Tatum for Tatum Bay. The Vikings, Skull.
I think they take Jade Barron.
J.D. Barron.
Is that how you say that?
I hope so. Hopefully that guy doesn't kill the Pope.
I think Josh Simmons is going to Houston here. Yeah.
Crazy that the Pope died, right? Like, if we kind of just.
Oh,
didn't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Happy Easter, everybody.
I meant to put that on the doc. I forgot about it.
That was a weird one to wake up to on Monday. It's like, oh, the Pope is dead? What the fuck? But more importantly, who are the Rams taking in the first here, at the back of the first? 26th pick of the draft here.
And then after we do this, we'll do our draft for who the next Pope is going to be. We'll do red smoke, white smoke, black smoke.
Yeah,
and all
tune
that
in next
stuff.
week when we draft Pope selection movies.
How do you feel about Jihad Campbell going to the Rams?
Jihad, huh?
I'm asking Seth. All right.
Oh, you're asking me? I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah, I was
Okay.
just saying it because his name is tough.
No, I know it is.
The Ravens,
Ravens.
27. So these are all the
Ravens-
good teams, by the way.
Ravens is a good site for Alabama players, historically.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go
Yeah,
Tyler Booker.
Give him a real
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah, these are the good teams, except for the Commanders. Are the Commanders
All right,
good?
Lions.
Well, the Commanders
think-
almost made it to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's surprising.
I think Lions are elated to see Michael Williams still on the board.
Yeah, it's good.
Elation. Now we get the Commanders, who they might be to your point, Seth, they might have just overperformed last year. Like, I don't know necessarily how good of a team they are, like, stats-wise.
Let's see. Seth, I'm thinking 22, 28, or 30.
That's Nick Emanuwari, Nick Scorton, or James Pierce Jr.
Yeah.
Let's go with Nick Emanuwari.
Bang.
I think out of South Carolina. Go Cox.
Nice.
Where's a woman war? You caught him.
Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. No, this is where I would have mocked Jihad Campbell.
Okay.
This is where I would love, because there's a bunch of Bills memes about, like,
Bill's Jihad.
Yeah, Bills Jihad stuff. Like, for the memes alone, for the Twitter stuff, I would love that to be there.
Yeah, right.
It could happen.
Dude, I'm thinking maybe James Pierce Jr.
JPJ.
They think he fits well. They think he fits well in the Bills.
Yeah. He
With the Bills
did a practice with them, and they really liked him because he's got the jumping onto a table mentality thing.
That's right.
He's real mafia legend.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Boo, boo.
Yeah, that's tough.
DT, OG, edge, OT, safety.
I think they can afford to take a North Dakota State guard, right? Is North Dakota State even Division One?
It's the NAL. Who knows now? Everybody's D1.
That's true. Yeah.
Ray Zabel. That's a
Ray
name.
Zabel.
Versatile lineman. Play anywhere on the offensive line.
Yep.
Good interior player.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like that's the kind of thing they like there in Kansas City.
And our Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. What do you think they need?
You got it, Seth.
I think they want to go Nick Scourton.
Nick Scourton. All right, you heard it, folks. That's the draft. You don't even have to pay attention to Thursday.
That's right.
You know, but you can see how well we did.
Does it grade us?
I think I got to log in or something.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're probably didn't do very well. But that trade, I think that's key, right? The Bears are willing to trade their pick to somebody.
Winners of the offseason 3 years in a row. Off-season champions every year.
Yeah. Well, because they're going to trade away their first round pick, and because they really want some of those good players who are still going to be around in the day 2, day 3. So they might get a couple extra picks there. Really, just rebuild the core of the team. You know,
Get the core rebuilt.
It's the Ditka way.
Do the crunches. No, the Ditka way is the trade away your whole a whole bunch of shit just to get one guy.
Yeah, well,
and then leave. Well, the FKA the pod way is to leave us a nice message and rating anywhere and everywhere. That's iTunes. That's Instagram. That's X. That's on Twitter. That's Reels. That's YouTube. So check us out. FKA the pod anywhere and everywhere. Thanks for listening. Adios.
That's right. Hey, hold on. Before we head out, I just realized these banquet bottle caps have little messages on them, so I'm going to read one to you. It says, "Luck is hard work residue."
Gross.
Ew.